Today we have assembled here for the Viva OC of Miss Damayanti Sadashiv Jadhav. I welcome referee of today's Viva OC, Professor Mulani sir from Nanded. Similarly, I welcome all the faculty members of Department of Botany as well as other colleges, guide of today's student, HOD of Botany Department, Jadhav Madam, and all the students. And I request Damayanti to present her work within 30 to 40 minutes. Within that, she has to explain that particular work. Then it will be followed by questions which are raised by both the referees, and after that session will be declared for open for further discussion. So without wasting much time, already I joined 15 minutes late because of some assignment. Now I request Damayanti to present her work within 30 to 40 minutes. Over to Damayanti.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Damayanti Sadashiv Jadhav, carried out the PhD under the guidance of Dr. M.M. Gharke, Kanya Mahavidyalaya Khadekan, and co-guide Dr. V.C. Karande, Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, Satara. My PhD topic is Biochemical Studies of some selected medicinally potential pteridophytes from Pachgani and Mahabaleshwar Hills. Next, introduction. Biochemistry and phytochemistry are the parallel branches of biology dealing with chemicals derived from living organisms and plants. The term biochemistry was concerned with the chemical basis of life. In a plant, large number of secondary metabolic compounds are formed during photosynthesis. That is, phytochemicals are produced. The study of these chemicals is the phytochemistry. For this study of phytochemistry, selected epiphytic ferns species. Epiphytic ferns, Asplenium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus, and Microsorum membranaceum were collected on lateral branches of angiospermic plants, plant species like Ficus, Syzygium, and Terminalia, at the average height ranging between 1 to 8 meters from the soil level. The tall forest supply an appropriate habitat for the growth of epiphytic fern and fern alliance. They were collected from Pachgani and Mahabaleshwar forests during the rainy season. These are found in the localities such as Nepro Garden, Parsi Point, Lingamala, and Ambenari Ghat. All the three fern species were growing on the host plant together, that is sociable or gregarious in habitat, and their rhizome species were covered by leaf debris and mosses present on the stem bark. It is understood to know the microclimatic and phytochemical analysis of epiphytic ferns. Therefore, present investigation was undertaken. Next, objectives. To study the microclimatic conditions of epiphytic ferns under study, that is Asplenium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus, and Microsorum membranaceum. In the present work, efforts have been made to investigate the pattern of bioactive components at vegetative and reproductive phases of ferns, to study the analysis of organic, inorganic constituents, and bioactive components of secondary metabolites has been worked out by using modern technique, that is TLC, HPLC, GCMS, and FTIR, etc. To study the biological activity like antimicrobial and antioxidant. Next, study area. The Mahabaleshwar and Pachgani were selected the study area, and their specific sites are in Mahabaleshwar included Ambenari Ghat and Lingamala Ghat, and Pachgani area includes Mapro Garden and Parsi Point. Then, Pachgani collection site, we see the Parsi Point and the Mapro Garden. In these angiospermic plants, see the epiphytic ferns, that is Asplenium, Lepisaurus, and Microsorum. They are found in a gregarious in a habitat. Next, Mahabaleshwar collection site, that is Lingamala sites and Ambenari Ghats. See the angiospermic plant. On these plants, various types of these epiphytic ferns are present. Then, The plant species, that is Asplenium indicum, the dorsal view and ventral view. And the ventral view, sora are present linear at the margin, and they are having thicky in nature, reddish in color. Second plant, that is Lepisorus nudus, the dorsal view, and second is the ventral view. On the ventral sides, the sora are present at the rounded in structure, are having red in color, and they are parallel to the marginal line. Next, that is third plant, Microsorum membranaceum, the dorsal side and ventral view. At the ventral view, these sora are present at the 2 and 3 lines parallel to each other. They are having white and yellowish in a color. Next one, that is collection and identification. The 3 species of epiphytic ferns were collected from Pajgani and Mahabaleshwar in the month of July and August in 2 forms, that is vegetative forms and reproductive forms. The plant material of 3 epiphytic fern species was pressed, dried, and mounted on the herbarium sheets. These species were identified by using herbaria of Botanical Department, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and exhaustive literature of Madam Manikam, Irudaya Raj, Smith, and Fraser and Jenkins. Next, that is processing of plant material. The soil particles or substratum present on the rhizome of collected epiphytic plants was cleaned with the help of brush. The cleaner soil particle was collected, labeled, and stored in a paper bags and named as a epiphytic soil, which were then used for the analysis. Also, ground soil collected in the another paper bags for the analysis. Then, fresh plant material was collected in a clean plastic bag and labeled. The collected plant material was washed carefully with water and spread on blotting paper for drying under laboratory conditions with proper care. The dried plant material was powdered by using mortar, pestle, and grinder. These powder form of leaf species collected in 2 forms was kept in a separate paper bags, labeled and stored in the laboratory with proper care. Then next, methods. For analysis of microclimatic conditions and phytochemical analysis, various methods are used, from pH to antimicrobial activities. The next part, result and discussion. First, that is microclimatic conditions. In a microclimatic conditions, humidity, temperature, rainfall, and light intensity, these 4 factors are included. First, that is humidity. Humidity recorded in the study areas during the study period was in the minimum ranges from 72 to 85%, while maximum range between 97 to 100%. In the present investigation, it is noticed that selected fern species flourish or grow well developed with high humidity, ranges from more than 90% humidity. Then next, temperature. Minimum temperature was observed during month of August and maximum temperature observed during the end of September and month of October. That is the complete life cycle of these 3 fern species. So the present investigation June to August, temperature was minimum, so the plant can flourish and grow well developed. And when temperature increases, the epiphytic plants stop their life cycle and become dried. Next, that is the rainfall. The selected fern species flourish during July to September, that is in a rainy season occur. Reproductive phase develop in the August and September, and month of the October, the complete their life cycle of the plants and become dried. According to present investigation, leaf emergences and spore germinations develop and growth of the plants mainly occur in early rainy season, and drying up or complete their life cycle during the late of during the after the rainfall condition, that is at the month of October. Then next, that is light intensity. The minimum light intensity was observed during month of July. During early growth period, with maximum light intensity was observed. And during September, that is complete the reproductive growth, the light intensity was increased. In the present investigation, selected epiphytic fern species are found to be germinating in rainy season with high humidity and low light intensity. So in this condition, the plants can adapt, develop and complete their life cycle. Next, that is the soil analysis. In the soil analysis, we can include two types of the soil, that is epiphytic soil and ground soil. And various parameters are used to differentiate these soil analysis. First, that is pH. It is observed that the maximum amount of the pH was observed in the epiphytic soil ranges from 4.2 to 5.84 in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar area. And at the ground soil, the pH conditions are almost equal in the both of the sites. So, in the present investigation, it is concluded that the life cycle of this plant beginning at the rain and become extinct just after the rainy season. Therefore, ferns under study do not show wide ranges of pH. Then next, electrical conductivity. The maximum electrical conductivity was observed in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar area, and a minimum electrical conductivity was observed in the epiphytic soil of the Pachgani area. At the ground soil, electrical conductivity of both the sites are somewhat equal in the sites. In the present investigation, observation shows that low electrical conductivity in the rainy season. Therefore, study indicates that low amount of soluble salts are available to the plants. Then next, organic carbon. Organic carbon are mostly maximum amount of organic carbon are mostly found in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar area, and minimum organic carbons are found in the ground soil of the Pachgani area. The epiphytic ferns are mainly growing on the mosses and debris. So, appropriate or fulfill amount of organic carbons are available to the epiphytic plants or epiphytic soil. Then macro elements, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and calcium. These macro elements, they are mostly maximum amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and calcium are available in the epiphytic soil of the Mahabaleshwar area, and a minimum amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and calcium observed in the ground soil of the Pachgani area. So, nitrogen, all these macro elements are more in the epiphytic soils of both the sites. In our study, plants ferns grow in the rainy season. They are having fulfill amount of these macro elements. So, in a short life period or 3 months life period, they do not have deficiency of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and calcium. Then micro elements, that is zinc. The more amount of zinc is present observed in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar area, and less amount of zinc present in the ground soil of the Pachgani area. Zn was observed 2.73 ppm in the epiphytic soil, indicates that Zn content are appropriate for the plant growth. Then copper. Maximum copper content are observed in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar area, and minimum in the ground soil of the minimum in the epiphytic soil of the Pachgani area. Exclusively copper content is more in the ground soil than epiphytic soil. The deficiency of copper in agricultural soil appears 0.2 ppm. Therefore, the plant do not say deficiency of this copper, because of in our epiphytic soil Copper are present in the 1.19 ppm. Then iron. Maximum and minimum iron content observed in the epiphytic soil of the Mahabaleshwar area. Exclusively, iron content is more in the epiphytic soil of both sides. Present study ferrous or iron was 7.79 ppm. These are appropriate for development of these epiphytic ferns. Next, manganese. Maximum manganese content, that is 27.5 ppm, is observed in the epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar. So these are the appropriate for the growth and development of ferns. So in our study, epiphytic soil of Mahabaleshwar and Panchgani appeared superior in all the parameters than ground soil. So it is concluded that epiphytic soil sample fulfill all the needs of 3 epiphytic fern species under study. Therefore, it may be considered as these epiphytic soil are ideal soil for cultivation of these ferns as they grow luxuriantly in this soil in nature. Next, preliminary phytochemical screening. Preliminary phytochemical screening was conducted by a separation of alkaloids, flavonoids, carbohydrates, glycosides, phenols, quinines, saponins, steroids, tannin, terpenoids by using 5 solvent system, that is chloroform, methanol, ethanol, petroleum ether and water. In a present investigation, overall performance of methanol extract was considered as better because it gave separation of common phytochemicals in the species. While performance of methanol and petroleum ether was best in a microsoil membranation, it gave separation of 9 and 10 phytochemicals. The presence of phenolics, flavonoids, steroids, glycosidic, terpenoids, saponins and alkaloids in the studied 3 epiphytic ferns. Steroids are universal in the occurrence. This graphical representation shows methanolic extract. Performance of methanolic extract shows better for other solvent system. In fern sample, the occurrence of phytochemicals, steroids was universal, while occurrence of phenols was 80% and flavonoids was 73%. Presence of these bioactive components in a majority of the solvent system may be indicated that these ferns play important role in antioxidant, anti-cancer and antimicrobial activities. Next, quantitative analysis. First, that is chlorophyll. It includes chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and total chlorophylls. In the present investigation, chlorophyll AB, total chlorophylls and carotenoids were present in the equal amount at both the sides. This chlorophyll and carotenoids indicates that they were more in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage, probably due to changing the functions of plant from vegetative to reproductive growth. We see this figure, carotenoids. They are mainly present, more amount of carotenoids present in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage. Then next, phenols and reducing sugar. These phenols are mainly present in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage at both the sides. The amount of phenols in the species is directly proportional to the stress. Stress increases with the age and varies with the season. The next, reducing sugar. The performance of reducing sugar was best in a Lepisaurus nudus and Asplenium indicum at the reproductive stages. The next slide, that is total sugar and starch. In these figures, total maximum amount of total sugar and starch is present in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage. Next, that is protein and proline. In the present work show that proteins, more amount of proteins and prolines was observed in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage at both the sides. Present work shows that more proline was present in the reproductive stage. This is associated with stress facing for the ferns. Next, flavonoid and tannins. In the present work, trend of epiphytic ferns, there is more content of flavonoids is present in a reproductive stage than vegetative stage. And in a tannin content, significant presence of tannin in these three epiphytic ferns. Difference in the tannin content in the two works of epiphytic ferns is not much. The small difference in the figure of tannin content may be due to fact that ferns belong to different genera and length of the life cycle. Then next, macro elements. In a present investigation, nitrogen was estimated in a reproductive phase than vegetative phase stage, except Asplenium indicum. Second element, that is phosphorus. In the present investigation, higher amount of phosphorus is present in the vegetative stage than reproductive stage, except Asplenium indicum. These two macro elements are appeared more in the Mahabaleshwar sample than Pajgani sample. Then next, potassium and calcium. In the present investigation, more amount of potassium was estimated in the vegetative stage than reproductive stage. And calcium was estimated in a more amount of calcium estimated in vegetative stage than reproductive stage, except Asplenium indicum. These potassium and calcium are morely found in the Pajgani or Mahabaleshwar area. Next, zinc and iron. In a present investigation, zinc and iron was more estimated in a reproductive stage than vegetative stage. In general, there are mostly more amount of these zinc and iron are found in the Pajgani sample than Mahabaleshwar. Next, copper and manganese. More amount of copper was estimated in vegetative stage than reproductive stage, except Microsorum membranaceum. Then next, manganese was estimated in vegetative stage than reproductive stage, except Microsorum membranaceum. Next, that is analytic techniques. That is first technique, that is the FTIR. The FTIR technique is mostly useful for the separation of functional group by using the peak area. In this figure, Asplenium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus, and Microsorum membranaceum having various types of the peak area and different functional groups are separated. These common functional groups present in these three ferns are alkyl halides, ether esters, aromatics, alkanes, alkynes, esters, then nitrile and alcohol hydroxyphenol carboxylic acid. The carboxylic acid plays significant role in antimicrobial activities. In the present study confirms that alkyne groups are mostly present in the Asplenium indicum and Lepisaurus nudus. This suggests in the future both plants are used as a nematocydic agent. Alkyl halides play significant role in macrolide, antibiotics, clindamycin and lincomycin inhibit protein synthesis by ribosomal translocation and bind to the 15S rRNA of the large bacterial ribosomal subunit. In the present study confirms alkyl halides are present in the three epiphytic forms. Formation of alkane groups is mainly in the plant typical and epitapitular bracts of many species. They protect the plants against water loss, against bacteria, fungi, and harmful insects. In our study, in these three plants present of alkane groups. Then, carboxylic acid are pharmaceutically very important in the formation of fat in the body, and it shows strong antibacterial activity. They serve as main pharmaceutical product in the curing ulcer, jaundice, headache, fever, pain in liver, wound in cattle. Next, aldehyde are used in the production of resins when they combine them with the phenols. Ester in the combination with volatile oils produce pleasant aroma of the fruits. Amines are play significant role in the protein synthesis. These all functional groups are present in these all three epiphytic ferns. So in the present investigation, the FCR analysis of three epiphytic ferns showed the presence of secondary metabolites which are responsible for various medicinal properties. Then next, TLC-IR. This is TLC-IR mainly used for the separation of the functional group. In this TLC-IR, alkyl halides, alkyl halide ester ethers, then alkane and alcohol hydroxyphenol carboxylic acid. These functional groups are formed. This TLC analysis revealed that the presence of polyphenols and flavonoids due to OH stretching and terpenes due to the CH groups. Polyphenol contain several OH groups. They are significantly used as chemopreventive agents against cardiovascular and degenerative disease, so considered as cardioprotective, and also act against cancer, antibacterial and antiviral activities. Flavonoids are important groups found in active compounds in all these three plants. They inhibit DNA, RNA and protein synthesis of bacteria. Then steroids play a significant role in immune suppressor. They are mainly used in the pharmaceutical industry and it is associated with the sex hormones. Next, in this TLC, separation of these bioactive components, hexane ethyl acetate 5s to 5, these mobile phase are used and various reagents can be used for the separation of these bioactive compounds. First, the plates were first exposed to UV light and observed the color bands in the chromatogram of Asplenium indicum and Lepisaurus nudus revealed 6 bands. When these chromatograms spread para-anisile reagent, Asplenium indicum revealed 6 bands, Lepisaurus nudus revealed 4 bands, and Microsorum membranacea revealed 2 bands. When this chromatogram exposed to iodine chamber, or deep in the iodine chamber, Asplenium indicum and Lepisaurus nudus revealed 6 bands, and Microsorum membranacea revealed 4 bands. On this present of phytochemicals or phytoconstituents, RF values are calculated, and these RF values are shown in the table. Next, that is, in the present investigation, TLC analysis of epiphytic fern under study showed the presence of color spot indicates the presence of phytoconstituents. First, TLC in iodine, we can see the yellowish spots observed in the 3 epiphytic ferns, first Asplenium, second Lepisaurus, and third Microsorum indicum. Then second, this TLC, they first exposure to UV light. Then we can observe these types of color band, that is yellowish, greenish, and violet color band. And in the third figure, these TLC analysis spray on para-anisaldehyde reagent. The chromatogram shows grayish and violet color. First, we see the yellow color bands on TLC showed the presence of flavonoids and phenols. Gray color spot indicates shows presence of steroids, and violet color on the TLC plates indicates presence of terpenoids. So all these plant species contain having various types of the color, so they show various types of the biological activities. Next, that is GCMS. First, that is GCMS spectrum. GCM spectrum of Asplenium indicum, then GCM spectrum of Lepisaurus nudus and Microsorum membranaceum. These GCMS technique shows various types of the bioactive compounds present at the specific retention time with specific peak area and having specific molecular weight, and they show a specific biological activity. The GCMA peak report of Asplenium indicum shows 6 bioactive compounds with specific molecular weight. First, that is ethanol 1,2-butoxy-ethoxy. Their molecular weight is 162 and they do not show any biological activity. Second compound, that is 3-allyl-6-methoxyphenol. Their molecular weight is 164 and it shows antihistaminic, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity. And it shows antiseptic and anesthetic, analgesic, antioxidant and antimicrobial activities. Then next compound, that is ethanol 2,2-butoxy-ethoxy acetate. Their molecular weight is 204 and it shows paint, adhesive, plastics and paint removers. Next compound, that is neophytidine. Their molecular weight is 278. It shows antipyretic, analgesic acid, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant and antimicrobial activity. Next compound, that is hexandioic acid, bis-2-ethyl ester. Their molecular weight is 370 and it shows antioxidant, antimicrobial, antiproliferate, anti-acidifier, antiuretic, diuretic production. Then next compound, that is hexandioic acid, bis-2-hydroxy, 1-hydroxymethyl ester. Their molecular weight is 330 and it shows hemolytic, pesticides, flavor and antioxidant properties. Next, that is GCMS peak report of Lepicerus nudus. It shows 10 bioactive compounds. That is, first is 2,5-H furan 5-methyl. Their molecular weight is 98. It does not show any biological activity. Second, that is 4-hydroxy 2-methyl acetophenone. Their molecular weight is 150 and it shows anti-cancer, vasodilator, analgesic and aesthetic, antioxidant, antiseptic, antiviral activities. Then next, 2,3-H furan 3-acyl hydride 3-methyl. Their molecular weight is 142. They do not show any activity. Next, benzaldehyde 2-hydroxy 4-methyl. Their molecular weight is 136 and it shows flavoring agent, adhesive to food and beverages and intermediate for the various pharmaceuticals. Next compound, that is 1,2,3,5 cyclohexane methanol 1-alpha 2-beta 3-alpha 5-beta. It shows polyhydrox compound, analgesic, anesthetic, antioxidant, antiseptic, antibacterial, antiviral and cancer preventive. Next compound, that is neophytidine. Their molecular weight is 278 and it shows antipyretic, analgesic acid, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antimicrobial activity. Then second last, that is benzyl propionic acid 3,5-bis 1,1-dimethyl 4-hydroxymethyl ester. Their molecular weight is 292. It shows antifungal and antioxidant property. And last one, phthalic acid butyl dodecyl ester. Their molecular weight is 390 and it shows antimicrobial, antifouling properties. Then GCMS peak report of Microsoft membranaceum. It shows 14 bioactive compounds. First, that is EEZ13 12 non-decantryl 5-14-diol. Their molecular weight is 294 and it shows antimicrobial activity. Third one is these compound. Next, Z9 octadecane 4-odiol. Their molecular weight is 280. It shows anti-cancer, cancer preventive, flavor, hypocholesterol, 5-alpha reductase, inhibitor, antihistaminic. Then next, hexandioic acid bis-2-ethoxy ester. Their molecular weight is 370. It shows antibacterial activity and antioxidant activity. Next compound, that is tricyclo-28-716 plus 122-716 dipoxy. Their molecular weight is 444. It shows anti-inflammatory, antiplastic, and neuromuscular blocking agent and antifungal activity. Next, that is 2,6,10,14 hexadecatetrane 1-all 3,7,11,15 tetramethyl acetate (EEE). It shows antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer activity. Next, 2,4-decandinyl EE. Their molecular weight is 152. It shows antimicrobial activity. Next, tetradecanol. Their molecular weight is 212. It shows antibacterial activity. Next, menthalamine. Their molecular weight is 155. It shows biological activity. Next, 122-docosanidyl. Their molecular weight is 342, and it shows antioxidant hepatoprotective activity. Next, EEZ1312, non-decatrial 514-diol. Their molecular weight is 294. It shows antimicrobial activity. Next, JZ628 hepatoprotectant 2-1. It shows anti-inflammatory and vasodilator activities. Next, EEZ1312 non-decanoic acid 514-diol. It shows antimicrobial activity. And last, 2,3-H-furan 5-dodecyl dihydro. Their molecular weight is 254, and it shows antioxidant, anti-inflammatory activities. Next is the HPLC chromatogram of Asplenium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus, and Microsorum membranaceum. HPLC technique was used to isolate, identify, and quantify the components in the mixture of methanol extracts. This HPLC chromatogram of 3 funds identified 6 chemical compounds such as gallic acid, picoumaric acid, caffeic acid, ferulic acid, and catechol. The HPLC chromatogram of Asplenium indicum, HPLC chromatogram of Lepisaurus nudus, and HPLC chromatogram of Microsorum membranaceum. All these compounds have high value in biological activities such as antibacterial, anti-tumor, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory. Therefore, these 3 products, they are used as they are having high medicinal value, so they are used in the pharmaceutical industry. Then next, antioxidant activity. In the present work, Asplenium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus, and Microsorum membranaceum showed antioxidant activity. Methanolic extract of Asplenium indicum demonstrated high capacity for scavenging free radical activity. It shows 56.23%, and these are the high value for compared to other 2 plants. GCMS analysis shows various bioactive compounds in Asplenium indicum. 4 compounds present like 3-allyl-6-methoxyphenol, neophytidine, hexandioic acid, bis-2-ethoxyhexoxyester, hexandioic acid, 2-hydroxy-1-hydroxymethyl ester. These compounds shows antioxidant activity. So, this Asplenium indicum shows higher concentration or higher exhibited a strong antioxidant activity. Therefore, antioxidant activity of these funds due to these biological compounds. Next, that is antibacterial activity. The 3 epiphytic funds were tested for antibacterial activity. 2 bacterial strains, that is E. coli and B. subtilis, were selected for this work. Methanolic extract of Microsorum membranaceum shows highest activity with bacterial strain E. coli and B. subtilis, while the performance of Asplenium indicum and Lepisaurus nudus was good in controlling both the strains. The figure shows Microsorum membranaceum has strong antibacterial activity. GCMS analysis of Microsorum membranaceum showed antimicrobial chemicals such as 2,4-decadenyl EE, tetradecanol, next EE, Z1,3,12, non-decatriene, 5,14-diol, hexandioic acid, bis 2-ethyl hexyl ester, ZZ628, hepatotriclopyridine 2,1, tricyclo-28,716, triconate 1,22,716, diepoxy, and last 2,6,10,14, hexadecanterane 1,3,7,11,15, trimethyl acetate. So these strong antimicrobial activity shows for these chemical bioactive compounds present in the found in the GCMS analysis. Next, that is antifungal activity. The three epiphytic funds were tested for antifungal activity. Two fungal strains, Aspergillus niger and Saccharomyces cerevisiae were selected. The antifungal performance of Asplenium indicum was best for Asplenium niger and S. cerevisiae. Asplenium indicum has inhibition zone of 22 mm against Aspergillus niger and 24 mm against S. cerevisiae. Microsphere membranation shows highest antifungal activity against S. cerevisiae, that is 25 mm. The performance of Leptospira nudus against both the fungi was minimum, that is 16 and 17 mm respectively. The present work of study of antimicrobial activity of epiphytic fungi under study showed higher degree of antimicrobial activity in the Microsphere membranation, followed by Asplenium indicum and Leptospira nudus. Then next, that is summary. Ferns are epiphytic in habitat and growing on the main trunk of lateral branches of Ficus, Syzygium, Terminalia, and other angiospermic plants. Ferns are growing in the cluster or together, hence they are described as gregarious in habitat. Second, microclimatic condition, that is humidity, temperature, rainfall, light intensity, soil are the important climatic factors which determines microclimatic conditions of plant species. Next, humidity percentage in the study area was between 72 to 100%. In the July and August, humidity was high. Next, the temperature range observed was between 9.4 to 28 degrees Celsius. Study area received low rainfall in June and September of each year, while more rainfall was received in the month of July and August of the study period. In case of light intensity, minimum was during month of July and August of the study period. Soil analysis was conducted as a ground soil and epiphytic soil of Pazhgani and Mahabaleshwar. Epiphytic soil was collected from around the rhizome of the fern species. Epiphytic soil from both the sides appears superior than ground soil of Pazhgani and Mahabaleshwar in almost all character of soil, that is macro and micro elements and physiochemical factors. Epiphytic soil is a new concept forwarded by the present work. This soil may be considered as ideal medium for the cultivation of epiphytic ferns. Qualitative phytochemical screening with methanol extract proved to be better in giving separation of phytochemicals of ferns. It gave 90% separation of extract of Microsphere membranation, while 80% separation was observed in the Asplenium indicum and Leptospira nudus. The other solvent system appeared less effective as it gave 20% separation of metabolites. Steroids showed universal occurrence and phenols and flavonoids was 80% and 73%. Quantitative analysis of ferns, it is interesting to know that in the present work, primary metabolites like reducing sugar, total sugar, starch, protein, proline, and secondary metabolites like pigments, polyphenols, flavonoids, and tannins appear in the more amount at reproductive stage than vegetative stage. In general, the medicinal properties of fern species depend upon occurrence of polyphenols, tannins, and flavonoids. In the present work, it is observed that these bioactive compounds are present in all three ferns under study. So they are medicinal ferns. The highest value of these bioactive compounds were observed in the below. Polyphenols, Asplenium indicum contains 2.97 gram 100 per gram. Flavonoids present in a microsphere membranaceum, that is 11.78 mg per kg, and tannin present in a microsphere membranaceum at 10.67 mg per kg. Analysis of inorganic content from epiphytic fund under study showed maximum amount of nitrogen, zinc and ferrous was estimated in the reproductive stage than vegetative stage, while more amount of phosphorus, potassium, calcium, copper and manganese occurs in the vegetative stage as compared to reproductive phase. Next part, that is analytic technique, FTIR analysis. FTIR spectrum analysis showed 8 different functional groups in Asplenium indicum, while 11 and 9 groups were present in a microsphere membranaceum and Lepisorus nudus respectively. All the 3 epiphytic funds under study showed pharmaceutically useful functional groups such as alkyl halide ethers, esters, alkane, aromatic, alkyne, nitrile and alcohol hydroxy, phenol, carboxylic acid. Therefore, these 4 species can be termed as medicinal fund. Next, that is TLC and TLC-IR analysis. The present investigation of TLC analysis of epiphytic funds under study showed the presence of color spot, indicates the presence of phytoconstituents. The yellow color bands on TLC showed the presence of flavonoids and phenols. Gray spot showed the presence of steroids, and violet spot shows the presence of terpenoids. These bioactive components play a significant role in biological activity. TLC-IR spectrum of epiphytic funds under study showed maximum functional groups in a microsphere membranaceum, that is 9 groups, followed by 8 functional groups in Lepisorus nudus and 7 functional groups in Asplenium indicum. In a present investigation of TLC analysis of epiphytic funds under study showed the presence of functional groups like primary amines, hydroxy, aromatics, alcohol, carboxylic acid, esters, ethers, alkane, etc. Therefore, the epiphytic funds may play important role in antibacterial, antifungal and anti-tumor biological activity. TLC profile of epiphytic funds may be used in the pharmaceutical industry for the further use. Next, GCMS analysis. GCMS analysis of epiphytic funds under study gave identification of 14 phytochemicals in microsphere membranaceum, 10 phytochemicals in Lepisorus nudus, and followed by adding 6 phytochemicals in Asplenium indicum. The identified phytochemicals from the funds under study showed anti-inflammatory, antidiabetic, antioxidant, antibacterial, hepatoprotectant, antifungal, anti-seborrheic, anti-thrombolytic, antiparasitic. Further phytochemicals and pharmacological analysis of these epiphytic funds under study may be used as a natural drug development. HPLC analysis. In HPLC chromatogram of 3 funds under study identified 6 chemical compounds such as gallic acid, catechol, caffeic acid, vanillin, picoamaric acid and ferulic acid. Amount of biochemical observed in HPLC, these are as follows. Lepisorus nudus ferulic acid contains 69.56 per ppm. Catechol are present in a microsphere membranaceum. The amount is 20.917 ppm. And gallic acid present in Asplenium indicum in a 19.793 ppm. As per the HPLC analysis of epiphytic funds under study, funds contain important chemical compounds like gallic acid, catechol, ferulic acid, etc. All these compounds have high value of biological activities. Next, antioxidant. Study of antioxidant activity of the funds indicate that Asplenium indicum demonstrated high capacity of scavenging free radical activity, that is of 66.23%. GCMS of Asplenium indicum showed 4 phytoconstituents which play effective role as antioxidant. GCMS result in the present investigation support high antioxidant activity of Asplenium indicum. Next, antimicrobial. Extract of microsphere membranaceum showed highest activity with bacterial strain, E. coli and B. subtilis. While the performance of Asclepium indicum and Lepisaurus nudus was good in controlling both the strains. GCMS analysis of microspore membranation showed 4 bioactive components. It shows antimicrobial activity. The antifungal performance of Asclepium indicum was best for Aspergillus niger and Yes cerevisiae. Asclepium indicum has inhibition zone 22 m against Aspergillus niger and 24 mm against Yes cerevisiae. GCMS analysis of Asclepium indicum reported antimicrobial and antifungal chemical presence of these chemicals in Asclepium indicum confirms its antifungal nature. Last point, that is conclusion. In the present investigation, 3 epiphytic funds of Asclepium indicum, Lepisaurus nudus and Microspore membranaceum studied for Pazgani and Mahabaleshwar study area for the phytochemical analysis to find out medicinal value and advanced methods used to check purity and quality for plant drugs. The selected funds are commonly found in the study area as epiphytic and gregarious in nature. They flourish well during the rainy season. Having microclimatic conditions are sufficient for growth and development of plants. That is heavy rainfall, temperature condition, light intensity and humidity. They flourish well during the rainy season. Next, primary and secondary metabolites like polyphenols and tannins are found to be occurring in a sufficient amount in all the species, which indicate that medicinal properties. The phytochemical analysis of selected fern by using modern techniques like FTIR, TLC showed various types of functional groups. GCMS techniques, bioactive compounds like neophytidine has commonly detected in 2 epiphytic pteridophytes, while some compounds are variously found in all the species. HPLC analysis, it has been found that there are 4 medicinally significant bioactive compounds are present in a selected pteridophytes. The study of biological activities of 3 epiphytic ferns confirm the plants can use as broad spectrum for antibacterial, antifungal and antioxidant agents in the future. From all these results, it is concluded that 3 epiphytic ferns are medicinally important. This is the initial step towards knowing the characters of bioactive principles and therapeutic potency of studied 3 epiphytic pteridophytes. These results provide a rationale for their use in traditional medicine and also from the basis of further pharmacological studies of these pteridophytes for future benefits of mankind. However, due to deforestation and rapid urbanization and some environmental changes, epiphytic ferns become endangered for this. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Now I will put forth the questions which are raised by referee. So today's referee Mulani sir has not put forth any question, but other referee from Baroda, he has put forth some 6 questions. Now I will read those questions. You have to answer or you have to reply to these questions. So question 1, what is the difference between biochemistry of plant and phytochemistry of plants?
Biochemistry and phytochemistry are the parallel branches of the chemistry. Biochemistry includes plants and animals, and phytochemistry that includes only plants.
Okay. Is there any correlation within the epiphytic species growing on different hosts as observed in case of Tinospora? Once again I will read. Is there any correlation within the epiphytic species growing on different hosts as observed in case of Tinospora?
Tinospora.
Yeah. Do you find any correlation?
These ferns, they are having gregarious nature, and these are found in the epiphytic or lithophytic conditions. because of rhizomatic conditions are present. They do not grow they do not grow ground soil, only present on the epiphytic conditions or lithophytic.
Referee want to find out whether any correlation is there between growth of these epiphytic fern on Tinospora.
Correlation
Have you studied
between
this one? Have you studied this one or not? If no, please tell. I have not studied. It's okay.
It is like that. We see how Tinospora is growing on different plants like neem and other things. We
Yes,
see
yes,
that the Tinospora growing on neem is very good pharmacologically. Likewise, whether these ferns growing on different boughs, whether they have any variation in the activity, that is the meaning of the question. Understood?
yes. Tinospora.
Have you studied this parameter?
I don't think.
Okay. We'll go for next question. Why the candidate has preferred to collect samples from Mapro garden and not from open forest? Why candidate has preferred to collect samples from Mapro garden and not from open garden? Further, rather in private property there is a chance of clearing the vegetation and epiphytic ferns are highly sensitive to microclimate, which you have already concluded.
This epiphytic in a Mahabaleshwar and Pazgani area, huge biodiversity of these epiphytic ferns occur. In a Mapro garden, in the outside area, proper Mapro garden not included. Outside, that is roadside area, various types of the angiosperm plants are found, and on these plants, these epiphytic ferns are grown, and on these sides, these epiphytic ferns are collected. Exactly not included in a Mapro garden.
Referee want to know why he has chosen Mapro garden and why not open field garden, open field forest. What is the intention behind selecting the Mapro garden site?
In this area, huge biodiversity of these epiphytic plants or these Mapro garden sites, diversity of these epiphytic plants are more. So this area was selected.
Next question. Does the candidate think that any of the constituents obtained from selected ferns can be exploited for any specific phytoconstituent?
Sir, again, once again.
Does the candidate think that any of the constituents obtained from selected ferns can be exploited for any specific phytoconstituent?
Flavonoids and phenols. This is a phenolic group.
If yes, further we want to know, if yes, why?
These flavonoids and phenols, they are having strong antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. So, selected plants, they are useful for medicinal medicines in the future. So, I selected the flavonoids and phenolic compounds.
Further, we want to know that is there any seasonal variation is there
Yes, sir.
in these phytoconstituents?
Seasonal variations are
In
not.
phytoconstituent, yeah.
Seasonal variations are not present because of my plants, they are present only in the rainy seasons. In the dry season,
Okay.
they are not found.
Okay. Next one. Candidate has studied the mineral composition of these ferns. In that case, what is the source of it?
Epiphytic soil is the main source of minerals, epiphytic soil. These are the main source. Because of the in these epiphytic soils, mosses and debris are found, and they are rich for the minerals. So these are the rich source.
Okay. Last question. If dead and degrading external layer of bark of the host plant is the source, if dead and degrading external layer of bark of host plant is the source, have you analyzed the same parameter of the host bark?
Can I analyze? No, sir.
Okay. So these are the questions, and in suggestion he has suggested some point that you have to take proper precaution while citing the references during your publication, and as well as total 23 references are missing either from text or from bibliography. So that care should be taken in further communication. So these are the particular questions raised by referee. Now topic is open for discussion. Now I request the audience to put forth your questions to the candidate.
Hello. Myself, Dr. Vaidya Ramesh from Y. I want to know,
Yes.
I know that the life cycle of these plants is a short one, 2 3 months or maximum 4 months life cycle is there. And to have collected the fresh samples and then analyze them for phytochemical or whatever the test you have done with HPLC and others. My point is that at what stage, whether in a dry stage they are more in their components, have you analyzed from the dry matter, or you use only fresh material?
Only pigment analysis, fresh material are used, and other phytochemicals or other tested are having dry material. They are having powder in the form. These are used for the analysis of other factors or other parameters.
So you suggested that your conclusion is that in the reproductive phase, the component they are in good amount,
Yes, sir.
rather than the vegetative stage.
Yes.
At the end, when they dry up, what is the condition? Have you tested? Have you analyzed at that stage when these dry away completely? Have you collected the material and analyzed?
Yes, sir.
I think you have collected the material, then dried it, and then analyzed. My point is, after the life cycle is over and they are about to perish, have you collected such material and then tested it sometime?
Yes, sir.
What is your understanding about this?
At the reproductive stages, at the vegetative phases, the plants are having various activities in the plant body. But at the reproductive phases, they are having at the resting phase. No other metabolites, no other metabolic processes are found in the plant. So various phytoconstituents are stored in the reproductive phase.
Okay. What you can suggest then, 1 minute please sir, what you can suggest any one component from your oral study in all the 3 forms, which compound you can suggest to be the best for antifungal or anti-cancer properties? What is the conclusion of your study? You have to put any one particular component which will be the gem of your study.
Phenolic compounds, in this phenol included flavonoids. They are best for the anti-cancer, antibacterial and antifungal activity.
Are you going for some patenting?
No sir, patenting no.
Not ready yet. Okay. Thank you.
Okay sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Why you selected 2 localities only? Because these ferns are growing also in various places.
First, we survey the epiphytic ferns of Satara district, that is Patan, then Polatpur area, Dapoli area, and observe that the huge biodiversity huge biodiversity of epiphytic ferns, they are mostly found in the Mahabaleshwar and Pasgani area. So I am selected these Mahabaleshwar and Pasgani localities.
Okay. Is there any other epiphytic species are present in that area? Other than this? Other than these three species, any other epiphytic species are growing in that area?
Yes, sir, growing.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, madam.
Uh,
Myself, Dr. Benny from BSI Pune. Actually, I have seen that your presentation, it was very good presentation. And but I am having 2 or 3 doubts. I will ask you, then kindly explain this to them. So there are a lot of species are growing in Mahabaleshwar and Panchagani area. Can you tell me that why you have chosen these 3 species and what basis you have selected the 3 species? Point number 1. Second is whether that species has been confirmed by expert.
yes, sir, it's confirmed expert.
Whether that specimen has been deposited in a national herbarium or if it has been deposited where it has been deposited. And last one is that whether that you have made any voucher of that specimen which you have collected from Mahabaleshwar and Panchagani. And please explain this purpose. I will repeat you once again. So there are so many species are growing in Mahabaleshwar and Panchagani, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
All of the pterophytes are concerned, particularly epiphytes.
Yes, sir.
And what is the reason to select these 3 species? Because that, what is the reason? Is there any reason given that chosen the 3 species?
Because of other pterophytic species are studied in Pune universities by Bomle madam. I will study the epiphytic fern because of these epiphytic ferns are having on these species phytochemical studies are not found. So not a literature are found for this species. So I am selected 3 epiphytic ferns.
So based on that literature you have. So what about the specimen, madam? Where you have deposited your specimen? Or what's the number is there? Who has confirmed the species? Confirmation is there.
Deposition which are sir?
Shivaji University Kolhapur.
Who has confirmed the identity of the species?
Sir, Dr. Sachin Patil studied Satara district pterophytic specimen, taxonomy of pterophytes of Satara district. They confirm these 3 species of epiphytic ferns.
Still the specimens, voucher number, everything is there. Right? Okay, madam. Thank you very much. Nice presentation. Thank you.
Yes, from audience, if anyone want to ask question, please.
Sir,
Yeah, please, sir.
मी त्याला सांगितलं आणि तू कुणाला दिलेलं नाही.
Hello, Kadam sir. आपला आवाज येतोय. If there are no questions, now I request external referee Mulani sir to give his remarks. Mulani sir, please.
So, yes, at the outset, I'm very much thankful to the administration of Shivaji University to appoint me for evaluation of this thesis on pteridophytes. Okay, as he has worked on 3 species of pteridophytes which are very important one. And earlier also telephatic work has been done by many workers, but such type of work nobody has done, where pharmacological, phytochemical work mainly it has been included. Earlier work was there on the diversity type. Okay. And the one thing which I appreciate, that number of secondary metabolites have been reported from these three and having therapeutic value. So today we are in this COVID, we can think that therapeutic flora also will have, it may have the effect on the COVID also. So let others can, or madam can go ahead with future work, as she has analyzed large number of secondary metabolites. As far as her thesis work is concerned, I am very much satisfied that the work which she has done is very good, and it is sufficient for the award of PhD degree of the Shivaji University. So, only thing I just want to ask one question to madam, as sir has asked about the identity. So, it is necessary to put the voucher specimen number in the work or in the publication. That is very much essential. In future, whenever you are publishing, it is necessary that you should publish by citing the voucher number and the name of the person who has identified these specimens. So it is very good. So from my side, it is very clear. Like what, sir?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Now it is the last part of today's IOC. So based upon the performance given by Damayanti Jadhav in today's IOC, as well as response to the questions raised by referees and questions raised by audience, we strongly recommend to authorities of your university to confer the highest degree, that is PhD, on Miss Damayanti Sadashiv Jadhav, and I congratulate both student, guide as well as co-guide for nice piece of work, and henceforth Mrs. Damayanti Sadashiv Jadhav will be called as Dr. Damayanti Sadashiv Jadhav. Congratulations, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Damayanti madam.
You and the guide, Garge madam.
Now, sir, I'm very much thankful to Professor Mulani, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
For spending his valuable time and conducting this particular IOC. Similarly, I am thankful to all the former as well as present staff member of Department of Botany as well as various colleges for attending this IOC. I am also thankful to all the research students who have participated in this IOC. And lastly, I am thankful to the university authorities for appointing me for conducting this particular IOC. So thank you one and all. And once again, I congratulate both student, guide, co-guide Karande madam also, and I am thankful to the Mulani sir. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.